Hello Divine Feminine and welcome to this reading. So I've done an overview today for the masculines, looking at the things they may have been doing over 2022, things they may have been distracting themselves with and why. And I want to do a very similar reading for you, but more about what you've been learning throughout 2022, especially during the silent times, the separation, or the times when you feel you've been ghosted by your twin, or they haven't been responding to you or communicating very well. What have you been learning throughout this year? So I'm going to use the Divine Feminine, the Silence deck for this. So thank you, angels. What's been going on with the Divine Feminines in 2022? And how has this been preparing you for 2023? What do we need to know? So a few cards have come out then. These will be the main things. So not every single thing will resonate with you, but take the bits that do and leave what don't and pop it into your situation. And remember, the feminines can be both a man and a woman. Okay, I'm just channeling her for, easiest. So it's more easier for me. I can help you. So what you've really been learning throughout 2022 is to let the masculines find their own way. Because as a Divine Feminine, we want to help. We are service-orientated beings because that's why we've come. So I can help you is you saying to the masculine, let me help you. Let me show you. Let me guide you. Let me, create the way. So this really is about the need to let go of that control, because helping someone is also being in control, trying to help. And it's a good thing because we are of service. But when people ask for help, that's when we help. If someone asks for your guidance or your support or, your words of wisdom, but the masculines don't always ask. They need the help, but they don't always ask. You teach them by taking that step back to ask their guides and angels, to connect with you, to come into communication with you, to reach out to you, to ask you for what they really want. But when we try and help without their asking, we can cause, problems because we aren't allowing the love to flow, or we aren't trusting them to find their way, or we aren't trusting in the love. And usually as well, this is because we want them to remember that we can help them and that we have value in their lives. So sometimes we worry and think, if I'm not reaching out, he won't reach out to me. If I don't remind him I'm here, he might just forget me. And that never happens. But we have to learn that through trial and error. So what you've really learned this year is to let the masculines help themselves and find the way. We try and help them in all kinds of ways, financially, emotionally, trying to give them that stability. But they need to find that within themselves. They need to help themselves. That's why they've come. They are just as powerful as you are, Divine Feminine. You get up and fight every day. You deal with your own stuff, so they need to as well. You complete me. So you've also been learning throughout this year that you don't need them physically to feel complete, because you are one soul already, even though you're in two separate human physical bodies. So they complete you because they are already in you. Not that you need to be with them to feel whole and complete. So this is also something you may have been realising, learning, or coming into the awareness of during 2022, that you are whole anyway. There's this real misconception out there that you need to be in union to feel complete. You need to be in union to be happy. And you don't, because union is an inside job, because they are in you. And your masculine resides in you and you reside in them. That means they are always with you. You take them everywhere you go. So the feeling of being incomplete has really been a part of the healing for 2022, because when you feel complete, no matter what the circumstances, you are ready for union. And I feel stronger now. So you will feel much stronger today than you did yesterday, last week, or even at the beginning of 2022, because you realise and you've learnt and understood through the lessons of this year, the power is in the now. So you feel stronger now. In the now you have won, because in the now you have complete, authentic control. the ego controls the past. The ego controls the future. The ego has no power in the now because that's where you reside. That's where you are aware as the observer of your reality. I feel stronger now. So you're also in the awareness that, as the observer, that everything you've been through, not just this year, but all the years you've been living on earth, you've grown from your experiences. And everything you've been through has made you stronger. Unblock me. So you've also been learning why they may block you. Why, what it means. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong or there's anything bad going on. It just means they need space. They give me fear. So if a lot of you have been blocked or felt like you've been blocked, because a block isn't just on social media or on your phone where they press a button. This can be when they're blocking you out, pushing you away. It can feel the same. It's very painful when all we want to do is help and love and nurture and show them that we care. But being blocked is a way the masculines deal with pressure. So just automatically what they do. It reminds me of a teenage boy or girl who run and hide in the room. What do? They slam the door and they hide. Okay? And most of the time, the parents, the mum usually, the empress energy, the nurturer, will go and try and get them to come out. Be nice and comforting and loving. But the person behind that door, that child, does not want to know. Why? Because they'll come out of the room when they're ready. They're being, temperamental. They're being challenging. They're having a tantrum. They want to do it on their terms. They don't want to be told what to do. So they have to come out their own time. And they will, because they get curious. Think about that teenager. They get hungry. They get curious what's going on downstairs. And they come out eventually and come downstairs and they will clear the air with their family. And your masculine will do the same with you. He will unblock you. So maybe you're thinking, all I really want is for him to unblock me. They do when they feel less pressured. So the way that we can create that safe environment for them to return and unblock is to just focus on loving the self, on giving back to the self. So you've also realised that you don't need to block them. So if you've blocked them, maybe you've unblocked them now because you've realised that when you block your twin, all you do is block yourself because you are one. And a lot of the times as the divine feminine, we feel we either want to block our twin to, have control back. So we're not constantly checking what they're doing or, having that urge to reach out. It isn't there if we block them. Or because we want to teach a lesson, thinking, well, he's blocked me, so I'm going to block him. And that's just retaliation. It doesn't work. So we also learn to operate in love and kindness and respond with love and kindness no matter what. Because fear can make us do crazy things where we react instead of thinking. And when the masculines are blocking you, that's what they're doing. They're not really thinking, they're just reacting. And I believe in us. So you've also learned to believe in the connection, to believe in the power of the love, to believe in the us of the bond. It's not just believing in yourself or believing in them. It's believing in us, believing that you are one. So this is really beautiful, divine feminine, because this year has really taught you how strong you are. And it's shown you that in many, many ways. And it's shown you that, yes, you are a natural nurturer because you are the empress. But over-giving doesn't work because you have to train the masculine to stand up for what they believe in and fight for this love. And you have to teach them how to treat you by loving yourself. So whatever we crave from them, it's always good to give it to ourselves. If we want to go out with them somewhere, take yourself out on that date. Do all the things you'd love to do with them, with you. Give yourself that gift. Give yourself that talking to. Love yourself. And then we don't crave it so much from them. And that's what I really learnt on my journey. Thinking that message, one more ping on my phone, would make me feel better. But there was always more. I always wanted more. It didn't matter how many messages I received. I always wanted one more. And that's why we release, in a way, the 7 deadly sins, because that's also agreed. It's a lust energy where we want more. It's never enough. And, I remember when I was dealing with a catalyst and I just wanted more. He was messaging me all the time. but it was never enough. And he was like, I don't know how I can give to you anymore. And it was depleting him and draining him. And that's why he ended up blocking me one time, because it wasn't enough for me. But that was nothing to do with him. He was giving me everything he could in that moment. It was because I didn't feel good enough myself. So I started looking at it differently and loving myself. And that's when, that connection kind of came to its natural end anyway, because I was already preparing for union with George. And George was off learning his own lessons with his own catalyst at the time. And yes, we went through our own stuff when we were pre-union, but I'd already learned so much from dealing with previous people to be able to be in union, for the start of the pandemic, especially to bring you guys together now. That's part of my mission. And maybe you're watching this thinking, I'd love to hear your story, Liz. It's actually available for Angel family members. The reason why is because there's some personal information in there. I'm quite happy for members to see, but I don't want it out there in the public, you see. So if you want to watch that, that's all you have to do. Just become a member of the Angel family. But the message is that you're realising that you are complete and that your masculine, it's not their job to satisfy you or make you happy. That's your job. What your masculine will do is enhance your life and make it good because it's already good. So don't look to the other person to give you things or fulfill you or complete you, because that will never work. There's too much pressure there. Imagine if it was your job to make another person happy. That would be a lot of pressure on you. When you come together in union, you enhance each other's lives and you help each other's lives. But because you've already healed each other's lives separately, or you've healed your own life separately. Does that make sense? I hope this helps. Have a wonderful night and prepare for a magical year ahead. Happy New Year, and I'll see you soon.